So don't make this mistake. This is a big one. A lot of people make. I see it all too often. It costs people a lot of money all of the time. Hey, it's Don. Today I wanted to talk a little bit about a mistake far too many people make these days. Now, I'm constantly asked or shown things and asked if I could give some recommendations on price and things like that. Now, one of the biggest ones I'm asked on are framed prints like these two here. I buy them. I pick them up whenever I can, as long as they're original, authentic, and worth something. Now, these two right here are by listed artists. The artist doesn't matter. It's not the principle of this conversation today. Now, I don't buy anything at all like this unless I can look at the back of it, unless I can look at it outside of the frame. Now, just because this looks like it's an original hand-pressed print lithograph, it does look to be signed, it does look to be hand-signed and hand-numbered, doesn't mean it is. Now, I'm sent images and stuff, and I look at stuff, and one of the biggest things I always say first to everyone is, have you taken it out of the frame? If you haven't taken something out of the frame, or you're not allowed to, it's all taped up real nicely on the back. Let's see, does this one have it? Like this here. This is usually what you'll see on the back of something like this. People are afraid to rip it open. They think it'll destroy the value and all that kind of thing. You gotta open them up to see what is inside of it. If you don't open it up, it might just be a print from a newspaper, a print ad, anything along that line. Some of the ones I've had people open up were exactly that. Mass-produced copies, a cutout, just some cheapo thing. And again, it's really hard to tell the difference unless you take it out of the frame. And in some cases, they've invested a lot of money on, say, a Picasso or something like that, a print that was claimed to be by someone very well known. Now, prints and illustrations and graphics like this come in many different variations and styles and types. You may have a mass-produced poster that looks identical to the lithograph that is hand-signed as well. One of the only real ways that I can tell would be to remove the glass. You have to be able to see it in its natural form. The printing quality, the printing style, how they print things these days can fool the naked eye into assuming that you're looking at pencil or anything else like that. So unless you can look at it with the loupe straight from, your eye to it, I wouldn't even want to begin to say if it's real or not. Whatever it is. I pop them out at the thrift stores even. I'll always take the back off before I buy something. Many times you'll pull off the back and it'll just be junk. It won't be on the right paper. It won't be the right printing style. It won't have, like in the lithograph, like with this one here, it won't have the indentation from the lithograph, from the press actually smashing down on the paper. This one you happen to be able to see it on here. You can see that the colors go out of its area. This is an original one. This is a nice one. Unless I took it all out, though, I wouldn't know that. So don't ever take that risk. Don't ever take that chance. If you're going to go someplace and pay for someone to authenticate something, one of the first things they're always going to do is ask you if they can take it out of the glass, take it out of the frame, and look at it. Now, when I'm outsourcing and there's someone to ask, like in an estate sale, I will ask. And sometimes they'll say, no, I don't want you to take the back off. Might ruin the value and all that kind of thing. If that's the case, I don't buy it. I don't take a chance in a guesstimate to say, hey, it's this or hey, it's that. Sometimes even if you take off the back and look at the back, part of what the actual item is may be covered up by the mat. Now, many times under the mat, under the cardboard mat here, under the glass, there'll be something else over it, something else pressed into the image. Maybe the image is only cropped down to what you're seeing. Again, don't ever take a chance in something unless you are sure. I've had people taken for hundreds of dollars because they were told at an establishment that, yes, this is an original hand signed by whoever the artist was. And in those cases, that isn't the case. I never ever trust anything written on anything when I'm out in the wild. So if I'm at an estate sale and it says this is a 1850s piece or artwork or whatever it happens to be, I need to know myself that it's from 1850. I never trust those people to say what it is. Probably 60-70% of the time when I see that, the identification isn't correct. It's to the benefit of the auction house to have information that makes everything look good and gold and vintage and old. So again, I never trust any of that. You have to have a good enough eye and understanding on the items you're buying to understand that yes, it is this old, or yes, it is real, or yes, this print is the real deal. Again, you have to be able to tell that by looking at it. And if you can't look at it outside the glass, again, I don't mess with it. Now, I'm bringing this up after someone just blew almost $150 on some prints that they were told were correct. After they took them out of the frames, like I suggested, they found out that no, they weren't what they stated to be. Now, luckily, the auction house that he bought these from was reputable, and they were going to honor their word because they weren't what they said they were. Again, if they won't open something up or allow you to, you never know what you're getting, so you can't count on that. And again, don't ever trust the paperwork on there to establish a date, an age, or what even the item is. And that goes for all kinds of different things out there. A lot of people, like if you're buying some expensive thing like a Chanel purse or something like that, the people you're buying them from may not know the difference between a fake one and a real one. That's on you to know the difference, not them. I never ever again, as I said, trust what someone says. We've been to many thrift stores in the past where there are expensive purses in the case, and I've had many people tell me that they were fake reproductions, knockoffs, and all that sort of thing. If it looks too good to be true, most of the time it is, like 99% of the time. So keep those thoughts in mind. Don't get stuck on one of these types of things. Now, this usually isn't a scam either. Most of the time, the people selling it just don't know. They don't know any better. They don't want it ripped open and all that kind of stuff. So I can't necessarily blame them. It's going to be on me if I buy something that's not legit. So it's on you, me, or whoever's buying it to make sure it is what it says it is. And if you can't tell, just move on. End of story. But anyway, that's what I have for you today. Hopefully that gave you some ideas, some thoughts. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button down below. You can also hit the bell icon to be notified if I post new content or go live. Subscribe and tell all your friends.
I'm the Micro Machine Man, and this is the Seriously Small Micro Machine Service City, the perfect place to take your micros for serious servicing. This place has it all. Movable garage doors, liftable lifts, simply amazing service bay, two-level parking, and a totally terrific turning turntable in the super showroom. The service here is simply stupendous. Micro Machine Service City from Loupe. The Micro Machine Man here, and I'm coming clean about the all-new Micro Machine Car Wash City. It's the best way to clean your micro machine. Drive into the vacuum area, then move your micros through the real rotating rollers. Now this car's really clean, team. Take your perfectly polished micros up the little elevator to the tippy top where you find a rotating stack shop.
Micro Machines Car Wash City, Service City sets, and vehicles sold separately. Some assembly required from Loupe.
Remember, if it doesn't say Micro Machine, it's not the real thing.